Howdy, Travis from KnowHow here. Imagine a cat event has just swept through town, and overnight you need to add 10, 20, maybe 40 new people to your team in order to deal with all the demand. There is a huge opportunity, but you don't have the time to train and equip them on your way of doing things, making sure that they're fully trained and standardized so that they represent your brand well while doing this massive cleanup work. What do? Well, it's a question as old as cat events themselves, but let me show you why KnowHow is the best tool for training and equipping staff, both contractors, subcontractors, and seasoned team members to deal with cat events. Let's get into it. All right, this is KnowHow here, and if you're not familiar with KnowHow is a place for all your SOPs, processes, how-tos, documentation, so you can easily equip your workers with the information they need to do their jobs well, both on the job site and in the office. If you already have a ton of documentation on your standards and your processes on what to do during CAT events and every aspect of completing a CAT event, that's great. You can skip this part. But if you don't, we've got great news because KnowHow has this template library up here. And in this template library are over 1,000 processes from seasoned experts in the restoration industry on every aspect of restoration, including completing CAT events. And so if you go to this mitigation tab here, if you're a KnowHow customer, and click this tab, catastrophe, this is a bunch of templates that we have worked with experts in the industry to create on all the different aspects of doing a CAT event, from how do you remove hardwood and carpet to how do you create plans, especially when you're doing like hurricane CAT, all the different equipment that you might need to use. It's all here. So you can review all of these processes. And when you say, these are great, I want to add these to my company's knowledge hub, what you do is you select them, or you can select them all up here, and then you click import. And that is going to add KnowHow's CAT response processes into your company's knowledge base. So once you click import, that's going to bring it into your hub. And then let's show you how you can use that to very rapidly train and equip new staff from scratch. All right, so I'm back in my KnowHow hub here, and we're going to go to workflows. If you're not familiar with workflows, workflows are just a playlist of processes in a specific order. And so I can create a new workflow called CAT event training. That's going to be the playlist of all the processes that I need to train someone up on how to get ready for a CAT event cleanup. So I've created this workflow. I'm going to click edit, and I'm just going to filter for that tag of processes that we just imported into our KnowHow hub. So here's all the processes related to KnowHow's CAT processes here. And you can see we've got these ones that we imported on responding to initial calls, manage CAT mitigation. And so I'm going to select these all, and I'm going to import them into the workflow here, this workflow CAT event training. What this is going to do is going to allow me to rearrange these and move them however I see fit to be a part of the training. So let's say these ones I want to do on Monday. I want to make sure first day out, as we're getting the worker up to speed on all the work that they're going to need to do, they tackle those processes first. There you go. And they now have that date of Monday. And again, don't worry about the dates too much. You can consider this like day 1, day 2, day 3, and I'll show you why afterwards. But now we're going to go select dates. Maybe this is part of Tuesday, and then the rest we would assign all possibly to Wednesday. So let's select all those and go Wednesday here. So now they'll say that this is in an order that I like. I can assign each of these skill builder tests. And what this is a multiple choice test. You can see it's being written right before our eyes. These are AI tests, multiple choice, true, false, based on the content in this process. And so it allows me to make sure that I'm not just putting step-by-step processes in front of people. I can actually confirm competency if I want to do that as well. So I'll turn that on. And now I have a good set of processes here to train up staff on their phone on how to do a cat event at our company and making sure that they represent our brand well. Once this is all set, I'm going to click this button that says Save as a Repeatable Workflow. Calls cat event training. And what this does is it turns it into a step-by-step workflow that I can then assign to anyone on my team. So you can see here, now we have this new workflow, cat event training. And now I'm ready to fully yield the power of KnowHow's standardized training for all roles and equip my workers, whether they are estimators or project managers or water techs or subcontractors that I'm bringing in, they all get the same standardized training. Let me show you how that works. We're now in KnowHow's workforce training section here. And I'm going to click this tab that says group. I'm just going to create a group for all the team members that are going to be working on this cat event. So let's say it's called Hurricane Milton. I'm just going to create a team called Hurricane Milton. And once this is set up, I'm going to attach the workflow that we just created, assign workflow, cat event training. So now any team members that get added to this group, Hurricane Milton, are going to be assigned that cat event training that we just created. So let's go back and start adding some team members. So I'm going to click this invite button. If you've got a list of 40 emails, you just Control-C, Control-V, paste it in here. In this case, I'll just say Travis cat event. Add that guy here. And anyone that I add, now I have the ability, now that they're a part of our KnowHow Hub, to assign them to this team here, this Hurricane Milton team. So here, I'm going to go unconfirmed. These are everyone that I've extended an invitation to, but they're not yet a part of the team. They haven't accepted that KnowHow invite. And let's say we've got all these people here. I'm going to select them all, and then I'm going to assign them to the group that we just created, Hurricane Milton. What this is going to do is it's going to add those 4 team members to the Hurricane Milton group and assign them the repeatable workflow that we just created. So now all of these people are a part of our Hurricane Milton team. And if I go to the workflow section here, as they go through this cat event training, I can monitor their progress. So I can see how they're all doing, how they're all working through this training. And as Eldon goes through and completes different aspects of the training, as Pedro, as Travis, they go through it, I can monitor and see who is completing the training, where everyone's at, and I can see everyone's ability to get up to speed. But the power of KnowHow is not just that training, but the instant answers that comes from that training. So let me show you exactly what that looks like as well. So think about all those processes that we added to our hub that were part of that cat event training. You can see they're all going to be listed here. So you've got these processes: install emergency temp walls after a storm, how to extract water and carpet from hard surfaces. Let's say as a worker, I go through all of this. I've got maybe 10 hours to prepare before I head out to support with this cat event. And so even if I go through all this training, maybe it doesn't stick in my brain. Well, because of the power of KnowHow's artificial intelligence, workers can just ask a question on their phone and get an instant answer based on the content here. So look at this process: install emergency temp walls after a storm. So you've got all the steps here: assess the damage, measure the space. Let's say there's this step: install support beams. You can see step 1, install support beams, begin by selecting series beams, position the support beams. Now let's say I'm a worker and it didn't stick when I went through that. I just don't remember that. And now I'm out on a job site and I don't remember how to install support beams properly. I can just ask our AI, whether it's on the mobile app or on desktop, I can just say, what's the best way to install support beams? And KnowHow's AI is going to go through, it's going to find that process, and it's going to give us the information from that process. So even if, as I'm getting trained, all that information doesn't stick with me because it's a bit of a fire hose as I'm getting prepared to go out to this cat event, I can reference it after the fact just by asking a question. I get linked back here. All the details are here. Same experience on mobile. Actually, mobile, I like it even better because you can talk into it. You don't even have to type. You can just say, hey, how do I install support beams? And it's going to give you that answer back. But KnowHow is really positioned to help give workers that training, especially for CAT events, but then have them go back and ask further follow-up questions. If they don't remember something, they can go back and they can ask again, and our AI is going to surface it. One other thing I should mention here. All of what we have looked at today is available in Spanish as well. So I'm going to change my language settings here to Spanish. And now I can just go back to that workflow, and the whole thing's going to be in Spanish. You can see this emergency temp walls after a storm. It's translating. Give it a second here. It's going to translate into Spanish. And then if I'm a worker, I can ask the question in Spanish, and our AI will answer in Spanish just as fast as it was able to in English, especially for CAT events in those southern states where there's a high Spanish-speaking population. This feature is an absolute game changer. You can see how KnowHow has completely transformed your ability to quickly get workers up to speed during CAT events. No longer do you have to worry about the balance between meeting the demand and having staff that are just not properly trained and dealing with all the fallout of that afterwards. KnowHow allows you to equip workers with specific sets of instructions. You can group teams together to work on CAT events like we did with Hurricane Milton. And then when workers have follow-up questions, if they don't recall everything from their training, they're not calling their manager or just guessing, they can use KnowHow's AI to resurface that information and give them what they need to do their jobs right during what is a period of intense stress and opportunity. For more ways on how you can use KnowHow to equip your teams to work more competently and confidently, you know what to do. Head to tryknowhow.com. Thanks.